Hey everybody, welcome back to Trey's Models. This is our bench update. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to any of the moms that might be tuning in. As few as there probably are. But getting a little more done on the GSXR. Got the brake system situated. This does have a 1988 front fork on it, so it's a little different than what the box stock version would have been. So had to modify the calipers and had to come up with some braided line. Now these on the stock one come up to a collector and go to a single line from here, but on this one actually has two lines that go all the way up to the brake reservoir. And that's another contention here, is the brake reservoirs on the stock one were boxy square ones. Obviously this has a dry clutch, so there's not going to be a reservoir for the clutch, but on the brake side we had to get rid of that box, and we're coming up with the actual reservoir. So that's where we stand on that. Not a whole lot done on the chassis since the last update. The triple clamp still needs to be dealt with. We'll put the forks together, get that, have an actually rolling chassis, and that's where we're at on the GSXR. Sadly, I didn't get anything done on the C130. There's too much on my plate right now. I'm going to try to concentrate on this, get this finished up, then move on to that. And that's it for the inside portion of the show. For the outside portion, we're going to do something different. I know other people have different hobbies that they're into. We do a little gardening here as along with the model building, so we'll do a little garden tour on the way out to the outside shop where the RC stuff is.
What?
Okay, outside we've got our collard growing, we got some dill going on, and this is our other hobby, just doing a little moderate gardening, nothing huge. And then here we got some milkweed, some beans, some lemongrass, more dill, some tomatoes that are finally feeling the heat. They're probably not going to be much longer for this world. It's a problem with down here. These were lettuce. We let them go to seed. More tomatoes, some eggplant, some kale. Then we've got our, what we call the E-bed. Got some pigeon peas growing up in that. Some more milkweed, more lettuce from the fall garden. It's gone to seed, obviously. Peppers, okra, more eggplant, lots of cucumber. Over here is where we do all the mixing for the pot. We mix our own soil using various ingredients, perlite, potash from the grill, and bag compost from the box store. More peppers, some tomatoes coming up. Some more okra, some rosemary. This is looking pretty weak. We're growing some corn in here. Got a bad batch of compost. It had a herbicide in it, which is common down here. Got to be careful where you get your stuff from because it could have the aminopyralids in it. If you grow some corn, that'll grab it up out of the ground, get rid of it. Stuff stays in the ground for like 3 years. So that's it for the garden. It's basically our other hobby here that we have going on. And onto the shop. And here we are in Hangar 18, where we do all the RC work. Bit of a bittersweet situation here. Actually sold the Focke-Wulf. It is being boxed up and getting ready to be shipped out. So unfortunately we had to fund some other projects, and the compressor on the shop went south on us, so things go to make new things happen. That's just the way it is. So the other thing we got going on is the jock stick. This is almost ready. We've got all the radio equipment installed. We just have to hook the receiver up. We've already neutralized the controls with our servo driver. We'll get the receiver bound to the transmitter, get that all rigged up. Fuel cells in place. Ignition module, 2 batteries, one for the ignition, one for the flight controls. Engine's mounted up. We do have to rig the engine yet, get the throttle hooked up and get that working. We're using a pull-pull system for the flight controls. And because this is a smaller model, we're not using a tiller bar. like I would on, for example, the TA-152 over here that we're building. A little bit bigger situation here, so we're actually using a tiller bar for the pull-pull system on this. And this takes the load off the bearing of the servo, which on a larger aircraft, it's a good idea. It's not absolutely necessary. Elevator servo, which we went with a really high-end one because once this is all together, this will be buried, and to get back into here, you'd have to cut into the skin once this is all skinned up. The airlines for the retract system and the canopy. The canopy is actually going to slide. Not sure where the air tank's going to go just yet. This is the housing for the fuel cell. Engine will be mounted up here, of course. And then it actually does have a retracting tail wheel. And that proposed a couple of issues because the way this retracts, for the steering to work, it's going to be opposite of the situation we have here. So we had to do some reverse work on that. But you can see the pull system going into it, and it is pneumatic, so the tail wheel will retract with the air that will work with the main gear as well. And this is a fiberglass tail piece that I made using a wooden plug, and hopefully we can get some further progress on the TA-152 before too long. Get this thing in the air. Looking forward to that. And basically, we just got to get the wings on this. It's a simple dowel system. The front dowels go into the firewall. Obviously, you'd hook the servo up. We're not to that point yet with this. Before you put all this together, that pops in, your bolts go on. And we got the graphics to put on it. A good friend of ours, Dave Kreitz, made these for us. These will go on the wing. And this is obviously not a actual scale replica. It's a wannabe look-alike for a World War I aircraft. But hoping the 20cc engine will pull it. I'm thinking it'll do fine. And that's where we're at with the joystick out in the shop. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day. Y'all be good to each other out there. We'll see you on the next video. Take care. Well, thanks for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next one.